more comprehensive, like having all your details, with all your work experience, everything. But resume is a kind of short, um, it's not comprehensive as CV.
Okay.
Yes, I think that's what I mean by resume.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Blessing, for answering. Any other person want to have something to say? Okay, I think Blessing gave a very correct answer. Oh, give me a minute. All right, sorry about that. So Blessing gave us a good answer. Very well done, Blessing. So CV is what we majorly use in Nigeria in a clearer term. Resume are mostly asked in international settings like the US. The US use more of resume. So resume is more direct as regarding the job. So take for example, you are applying for the role of you're applying for the role of a brand manager. Unlike your CV that has other experience, all your experience, the resume would just focus on those areas and then just craft it. And most of the time is more smaller in content, maybe like a one page. So basically, that's how a resume is. So those are the key differences. It's smaller, then it's also purposeful in just maybe the resume just a particular purpose for that, for that usage or for that application. You cannot send it to maybe different job titles. It has to just be one, you know basically. And it's used for, for the CV it's used for different things, while for the resume it's used for one thing. So I think we have started presenting. Ayomide, please, can you make it more bolder, like use the present now section? Yes. So today is going to be more like a workshop. It's not just we reading and reading, it's a workshop, and then we'll basically understand what we need to know about CVs and cover letter. Yeah, I can move to the next. So in this session, we're going to be talking about the overviews of each of them and also the structures, more importantly, how your CV should be structured. Some people till now don't know, maybe their work experience should come before their skills, or maybe the skills before the work experience, and all of that will be cleared out today. And also layouts with examples and also common mistakes that are going to be stated. And then we are going to talk about cover letters and also the tools that you can use for your cover letter. And we also have end it with a question and answer session. So let's get ready. Anyone excited? Put in your reactions. Yeah, so you can move to the next, please. Ayo. Yeah, thank you. I can see you. You can get more people to join Ayomide. I think we are very few today, so you can just get more people to join on the session. So now about CV. Why CV? Why do we need your CV, and why do we need cover letter? Well, one thing I should let you know, just as we talked about last time in personal branding, the recruitment world is shifting from only CV, because your CV cannot capture generally everything about you. But your personal brand can capture at least 70% about you without the person seeing you. It can be false, it can be true, but it depends on how you have branded yourself. So you should know that as it is, there is now a lot of things you need to add to your CV to give a better impression. Why? Because when we are applying now, take for example, today I'm trying to look for candidates. I most likely might not just focus on the CV alone. I might go through by searching online the person's name and see what comes up. So there's now a lot more span in recruitment. But before now, recruitment was majorly on CV, that is curriculum vitae. Please, if you don't know the full meaning today, it's curriculum, VIATE. Yeah. So Your CV is your first impression. The same thing now, it has to do with your portfolio. For people that are tech, you have your portfolio like your GitHub and all of that. Those are your first impressions. And what is it about? It is to show your expertise on the job. So it means that anything you are writing in your CV should be focused on your expertise on the job, not just the job you are applying, the job that you also wish to apply. For people that maybe want to they want to change their career path, like they want to reroute and then transition. That is what your CV should look. Your CV should speak about your future job your future job needs, and then also your current expertise. And then a cover letter, as we know, it is one of the things that helps you boost an interest for the employer to notice you. And then it is also part of the areas where you could show that you are a best fit. Take for example, I hope you are noting what I'm saying down, because they are really important things. All right, if you are noting it down, let me have your reactions. All right. And then if you have any questions, you can raise up your hand so it will be more interactive. I'm not seeing our reactions. If you are writing, if you are noting down what I'm said, let me see your reactions. All right. So our cover letter is to also show that we're a good fit. And I was going to add that in cases where, take for example, you are applying for internship and your CV do not have like the direct experience in or skills in those areas, you could show in your cover letter transferable skills and your enthusiasm in working with that company with some other things and values and interests. That is what the recruiter might want to see in your offer letter. So let's go to the next slide, please. Now, this is the standard, structure of a CV. The standard structure of a CV. Your CV must have your first name and your second name. Don't put your surname before your name. This for me is always an issue. Take for example, I pick up your name and then what I have here is Ogoro Blessing. I cannot just assume that, oh, that name is either your last name because of how it sounds. Or take for example somebody that is outside the country. Your name normally should be first your first name. Please, if you don't know what first name is, first name is the name that you are being called, not your surname. Last name is called surname. Last name and surname is the same. But your first name is the name that you are being called. So when you are writing your name, it should be your first name, then followed by your last name or second name as it's being called. So it must be there. Then make sure that you try as much as possible to just write two names. When the name becomes too long, it sometimes causes issues. So your first name and your last name is what is more important in your CV. Then you must not at any point take away your email. Your email must be in your CV. Also take note, your email must not be something that is very confusing. So as of today, I don't expect that anybody will have some mails such as BB. Take for example, Blessing now. Her email is bbfinegirl@gmail.com. All those funny things. No, your email should plainly be your name and your surname, or just your first name, or just your last name. By the time your email becomes something that is funny, the message it sends to recruiter is that this person is unserious or this person is childish. The same way, maybe on your Facebook right now, instead of Rukayat, the spelling will be HAR, something like that. It is really confusing and it gives a wrong impression of you. So try as much as possible that your email address is professional. So those are the things that are required. Your name, professional way, your first name, your second name. Your email should be professional. If you don't have a professional email, create one. If all your email is JJ Mike MC 123 at gmail.com. Go and change it. Use your name, your surname, and maybe initials with numbers is okay. Have a professional name as a young professional, either as a graduate or an undergraduate or you are an intern. It should look professional. Then also your LinkedIn profile, your phone number, very important, and your phone number should start with +1 +2 3 4. It should be professional so that if you are sending to a US company, they are able to reach out to you. Don't just use 00. Add the +2 3 4 there. You get it. Juliet, welcome. So add the +2 3 4. And then your LinkedIn, as we have talked about personal branding, I think I told some people to message me for joining the community, but very few of us did. And I can still give you the opportunity. Search for Fumilayo Tumile, your favorite HR. Message me that you want to start building. If you have not started at all, if you have not created your profile, we are going to build it from scratch together through the community. So build your LinkedIn profile and then have that link in your CV. The link will include something like www.in/your name. That's what the link includes. So that's basically it for that. And then we have your work experience. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we
Oh,
can.
all
Go
right, thank you. So your work experience is also going to be in order. I will share examples of CVs. So there are some examples of CVs that are in this that are inside this place, and you're going to see exactly how to work your CV. It might not be so clear. I will share it personally to her so that she could be able to use it as a medium for a sample, in creating your CV. So that you can get it easily. So your work experience, some of the time, some people say, oh, should my work experience come before my skills or my skills after my work experience? Now, this is it. When you are applying and you are an experienced person, it is important for your work experience to come before your skills and your education. Why? Because that is what the recruiter wants to see first. I'm an HR. I did interview for about 15 to 20 people, and I screened CVs yesterday and day before yesterday. So you can imagine the kind of workload that I might have. It means I don't have time to start reading some of your long skills. I just want to go straight to the point. I want to see your experience. If this person has experience for this job, that is if the job set is experience needed. If the criteria is fully experienced, like 5 years experience, 4 years experience in the kind of sector, do you understand? So it means that your experience should come first. But in a case where you are an intern, your education should come first. I hope you are noting this down. You want to apply as internship for a place. Let your education come first, followed by your skill. So immediately I'm seeing your education, okay, this person is a graduate, that is what I'm looking for. What are the additional things that can make this person stand out? Oh, the person has skills and has taken skills in Coursera as cybersecurity, and I'm looking for a cybersecurity intern. That just makes your CV be in the loop immediately. So you put in, you don't, if you have unrelevant experience to that role, that means your experience is not relevant to that role. Put your education and your skills forward. And please do not apply for work that you do not have any experience or skill in. It makes you unprofessional. In fact, if that kind of person apply for something that is he now has experience in, I might likely take the person on serious. Why? Because the person does not have a direct career progression. He just want to apply for anything, which is not good. Remember that the last time I extensively talked about how to, fashion your career. Who remember what I said about it? How to build your career, how that you must have a career clarity. what is that you want to pursue, what you want to be in the next 5 years. So it means you are not just trying to apply to anything. You already know what you want to apply for. So go ahead to keep applying for it. Don't worry. It might look like, oh, it's not coming for. Just keep at it and keep what? Learning. Keep improving your skills. Keep sharpening it. Do you understand? Are we together? Yeah, so I spoke about
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, so I spoke about education, your skills, and so how to arrange it, the standard way to arrange it, and also your certifications. The same thing applies to that. Let's move to the next for using access. Okay, so there are different kind of CV, CV layouts, and you might not be aware, but there are different type. There is a traditional, format, which is just a one-page CV. One-page CV. It is not in column. It's just one page. It's not like separated, unlike some other ones. And these are CVs that are used, basically before now, and it's still applicable now. It's a one-page full CV. And in the next page, we'll see an example of a traditional format. Then the modern has two column. So I know that some of us have seen CV with two column, where they might some more likely put a line in the middle after the name and the address and the professional summary. Then there will be a line in the middle. So it will now dictate, maybe this side can be for skills, the what will I call it? The left hand side can be for skills, and then your skills, maybe education. Then the other one for experience, certifications, and other things, right? So those are the things. Then for tech focused. Okay, so then other things you must know about is tech focus skills and tools and your fonts. Those are the things that are important in your CV. If you're applying for tech opportunities, ensure that your CV looks tech focused. It's not about a supermarket CV that you were applying for that period. No, you must make sure that your CV aligns with the job that you're applying for. Yeah, I'm seeing Onichesha saying if you have any question, you can write it in the comment for time, so that immediately I'm getting to a point I can answer it even almost immediately. So then also your CV must be ATS friendly. What do we mean by ATS friendly? I need you to listen in this point very well. Are we listening? Okay, I need you to listen. ATS friendly means that when you see a job advert, there are specific criteria in that job advert. Take for example, where you are applying or you saw a job advert for the position of a sales manager, or for his social media manager. And then in that job ad, you will see some specific details like, oh, we want somebody that has 3 years experience. So it means that your years of experience should tally. Is either low, not low, no, it shouldn't be lower, it should be higher. That means if your experience is lower, you are not likely to be selected for that role. And then also other criteria can be the tools, which is the skills that you have, right? The tools that you can use. They'll say, oh, the person must be able to be conversant with Instagram, or maybe it's Facebook, or maybe it's LinkedIn, right? Then other tools, other skills too. So those are ATS friendly. It's not a big thing. ATS friendly is not big. It's just that if you look at that job advert and then you look at your CV, there are similarities. There are things, it shows that you know what you are applying for. So there is no way, if your job advert is not if your job your CV and the job advert correlate, that you will not be called up for that role. You will, except it is below the requirement. That is what ATS friendly means. Then you ensure that you keep your format clean. Another thing that HR look at is that the neatness of your CV. It give an impression of, oh, this person is a composed person. And also, proofreading to ensure that there is no typos, right? So it makes it so that, oh, this person is eloquent. Those are the those are the pictures you give to the person. How creative your CV can be, how creative you use your words, ensuring that they are not just generic, they are not just what is it called? They are not just generic, and that's why you have to be careful of these people that say, "Oh, I'm a CV writer, I'm a CV writer." They are giving you ChatGPT. Food, in fact, there are some CVs I saw, and I shake my head. But some of the time, I just try as much as possible to call the person to confirm his experience. Because on a serious note, some people give ChatGPT CVs to you, and you pay money for it. So try as much as possible that you read your CV. Your CV sounds like you, such that if you are responding like you are the one that wrote your CV. I mean, if you are being asked in the interview, don't don't do word for word ChatGPT CV. I will teach you people exactly, how to be able to create, how to be able to see a CV format, and you're able to know, what you should write in it. So next, please. So these are the common mistakes to avoid. I already talked about typo, yes, the grammar use, ensure you proofread, and vague descriptions. And all these things come from, all these ambiguous ChatGPT words, saying things like dive into. There are some ChatGPT words that are really, really ambiguous that even you yourself, when you are talking, you don't use them. Avoid it. Use specific achievement and outcome that you had, not something that you cannot. Maybe you take your example. Oh, you say that I achieved this total company to multiply their profits by 200%, and it's not like you were sure. And ensure you have specific outcomes, that you can barely boast of if you are being asked for in the CV, because we are careful of this thing. What we want to see is results. So when you are giving us fake this thing, and then we take you and you are not being interviewed, you cannot say anything. It just makes you a no. So take cognizance of this. Also, listing of your duties in writing your experience. When you're writing your experience, don't just write, "Oh, I work in," when you write it, you write the name of the company, and then you write what you worked as. Take for example, sales representative at Home Affairs Supermarket, and then you just write it. That's all. No, you are supposed to actually write your achievements. Make your CV in achievement focused than duties. So this is the difference. For someone that is a sales representative that worked at Home Affairs Supermarket, the duties you will write is, "Oh, I ensure my shelf is arranged." Secondly, answering customers. These are duties, right? And these are what you do in your CV. Answering customers day to day, customer care, attending to customer complaints. But when it's achievement based, what you are going to say is, um, I ensured, or through my continuous shelf arrangement, it increased the neatness of the company by so percent. It makes it look like, oh, what you did caused an impact to the organization. So when you're writing your CV, you must think that way, that what you are doing, how does it impact the organization? Oh, you resolve complaints. You will write it that, oh, your please make sure your mic is muted, please. Okay, you ensure that as you okay, as you communicate, you're not communicating by duties, you're communicating by achievements. The same thing goes for the tech people. You're not just writing that I did so and so. No, I did this I achieved this, and it gave so results to the organization. By creating this software, it enhanced the company's portfolio, things like that. So it shows that what you are doing gave an impact, not just duties. Before now, we write in duties. It was okay, but now it has been, advanced to achievements. But you must make sure that you are not giving vague achievements. And also bad formatting. We already talked about traditional and modern CV. So you try to use right formatting. Please don't use formatting that are too over sharp, like maybe adding your picture, putting different fonts. No, just use a consistent font, and a font that is readable, a consistent style, a consistent icon. Take for example, consistent if you are using box point, use box point all through. If you are using 0 point, use 0 point bullet all through. Don't use different things. Don't make it look too unorganized. You can do that in your portfolio. You can make your portfolio as creative as you want, but your CV is not your portfolio, so make it look professional. So because of we are on CV, I will go ahead to read the questions. All right. I'll go ahead to read some of the questions. So by this time, if you want to unmute your mic to speak, you can. So I have a question here by Wanjohi. She's Anne. She said CV. Okay, this is not a question. Okay. 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 Um I think I saw a question. Please, can you help me out where the question is?
Yes, Anne asked a question. She's saying, how do recruiters know the CV is chat GPT written? What if she paraphrases it? Will they know? So that's the first
So,
question.
okay.
Question.
So that is what I'm saying. I'm not saying do not use ChatGPT. I'm saying don't just put it word for word. You are expected to paraphrase. So you can paraphrase it and make it sound like you. Do you understand? If you have been interacting with your ChatGPT very well, it will have your use of words, it will have your style of writing, except you have not been interacting with it. So it will have your style of writing. So when you use it, you put in enough information about you, and then you say, take for example, your CV is in duties format. Your experience section is in duties format. You can paraphrase it to say it should convert it to achievement method. It will do that for you, but you have to paraphrase it to make sure that it looks like what you did there, not something vague, not something that didn't happen. I hope you understand. So paraphrase it to sound like you, the style should be like you, and it shouldn't be vague. I hope that answer your questions. And is there any other one?
Yes, there's another from Dorcas. She's asking, is it professional to mention the current company name she has worked for in her work experience achievements?
Yes, I mean that is what work experience is. You are to mention the name of the company. That is what work. We want to see the company you have worked for. Some of the times we go to that company to even confirm if you really worked there. That is called reference check. So we want to know the company you worked for. So you have to put the name of the company, even the location. Take for example, maybe Lagos, maybe United Kingdom. Is it remote? Is it on site? We want to know some of that. But for remote, it's okay to add it, but full on site, there's no need because it will show there. All right, so you have to mention the name of the company, and then the position you worked as, and then the achievements you had in that company so far. So is that it? So I can continue.
Yes, that's the
All right.
question. Okay, for now.
Yeah, so go to the next. All right. Okay, I think I'd already spoken about bullet points that it should be consistent. It should be consistent and very important when you are starting, especially in your experience section, you are writing about your achievement. Start with action verbs. Action verbs make you sound like you are writing in achievement format, in such that what you impacted, you managed, you improved. So by the time you start with that, and then it quantifies your achievement by you know starting with verb, it quantifies your achievement, and then link it to positive results. So the example here is, oh, you develop 3 programs, increasing efficiency by 90%. So what is the result? You increase efficiency by 90%. What was the achievement? You developed 3 new programs. So before now, you would have just said develop 3 new programs, but now you added that by developing 3 new programs, it increased efficiency by 90%. But ensure that those percentage were actually it. And if you cannot say the exact percentage, you can just leave it by increasing efficiency for the staff. Do you understand? So that is basically it. So it means that if you have your CV, go and rework the experience to sound more like, achievement using this format. Start with an action, quantifiable achievement, and then end with the results. So move to the next. Okay, so this is an example. Feel free to zoom it. This is an example of a traditional CV. It is a warm, full page CV. It has your name, it has the email address, phone number, your own address. Please, if you're putting your address, especially if you don't want them to know that you are in the mainland or island, just put Lagos. But if the work states that island only, please write that you are living in the island or you are living in the mainland. Write it. It's important because most of the times it gets removed if there is no exact address. So ensure that you put your address. It might be optional, especially when you are applying for remote. It's optional. Don't put your address. But if you're applying in Nigeria and the role states that the person must be living there or is a full-time role, put your address. And it doesn't have to be the full number one Ikeja Animosho. Just put the local government and the state. It is okay. The local government and the state. So now you can see that this CV starts with an education, probably because it is required. But normally, you are to have a professional summary. After the professional summary, you now have your relevant experience, and then, or you can have your education before your relevant experience, and then other skills and then involvement can come under. The next stage also have the next page. Can I go to the next page? Yes. So this is also a traditional CV. You can see here it starts with skills. Why? Because and majorly for tech roles, they want to see this is not just skill summary, this is about the tools that you have used. They want to see the tools you can use, the skills you can. That is why I included more like a tech-based person CV. It has the education, skills, work experience. All of these determines by the requirements, right? And but for a business person, for someone that is applying for business manager, they want to see the experience first. But for someone in the tech, your skills is also important, but well arranged. You can see that this skill summary is well arranged and it is not bombarded. You know, it's not just bombarded. There are some that are more creative than this. There are ones that are creative, especially the 2 column CV. I don't have the sample of the 2 column CV, but there are some 2 column CV that are they are much more, attractive. So if you want to write a CV, you can feel free to DM me. I already sent the discounted price you know, to Ayomide. So you can feel free to DM me for a CV rewrite and I would help you work on it. So let's move to the next. So we'll be talking about cover letter now. This will be very short. Yeah. Okay, so this one will be given for you to, I've talked about it, to just go through it. Go to the next, please. All right. So your cover letter. When and why to send the cover letter. So cover letter is not compulsory, but there are some applications that request for cover letter. When we are introducing, I already stated some of the reasons for having your cover letter for people that were here already. I already stated that it is to make you have a first-hand impression, and also that the why you are also fit for the role. So unless the job says no, no need to put a cover letter. But what the cover letter does for you, it makes that role like you prepare to apply for the role, seemingly for the role. So it stands you out from some people or from the crowd, that oh, this person really wants to apply. Just like, oh, your dream company put out a job, you want to do more than just putting your CV. That is why you need a cover letter. And the content of the cover letter should what? Show why you are more fit for the role, show your enthusiasm and interest for the job, and also that you have researched the company, what you can add. So it must speak beyond your CV. You are not supposed to be putting everything in your CV or restating all the skills you have. Instead, you have to make your cover letter refer them to your CV. Okay. So make your application much more personalized. That's what I mean by what sending a cover letter. So let's go to the next. So the format of a cover letter, it should have the heading. The header should include your address, and then the next, that is if you are sending by physical. If you are sending by body of the mail, it's okay to send body of the mail. In fact, I will recommend send your cover letter as the body of the mail. But though they are two different things, but you can make sure that you can send it as an attachment or in the body of the mail. So you start with dear hiring manager. No sir, no ma is not necessary again. Don't use dear sir slash ma. Just dear hiring manager. If you don't know the person, if you know the person, you can put the name of the person. But it is okay for hiring manager. Then you put the job, you state and express your excitement for the job. And then you also put your two to top qualification or maybe certifications, depending on what sets you apart for this role, and a call to action to sign off and refer them. Yes, no dear Sam. So refer them to your CV. It's just very simple. Don't be so generic in writing your cover letter. Write it, professionally, but it should more personalize. It should speak. Other things that you can put is your values, especially when you have researched about the company values, you research about the company culture, and then you want to spice it up to let them know, oh, my culture aligns with your company culture, and I am someone that is disciplined. You state it, and then the person will be like, oh, so irrespective, even though this person might not have the skills, he can learn since he has our company culture. So those are what set you apart in writing your cover letter. So next, please. So this is a format, and I need you can take a screenshot. This is a kind of a cover letter format. As I said, your address, the date, and then you can see the J hiring manager or name. So in this first place, you have to establish your interest and give a brief intro to you, maybe your experience, your skills that you have, and all of that. Then also that you believe you can be a great help. So it must exercise in the paragraph your skills, your experience to back up a requirement. Then, as I said, you can also add other things that are equivalent to make you be exceptional, like how you other interests like the culture, your values, like how you have researched with them. Put things that spice up, that make it look like, oh, you did not just write the same cover letter for 500 companies and still send it to them. There is no one cover letter for everybody. Each cover letter for one application, it makes you look unique. And I know that cannot be easy. That's why you should really know what kind of industry, what kind of job you want. Because if you know the kind of industry, the kind of job you want, and you are aligned with it, you will not be doing 500 applications a day, because you know what you want. And then you are going to apply, not just an ordinary person, you apply. By next week, we are going to talk about how you will follow up. You will follow up to the point where the person will be seeing your face and cannot stop seeing you. So that's how you can, especially when you really know that you can do that job perfectly, and then you really want to work in that company because how it aligns with you. Even if they're not going to take you now, they will keep you in view. That's how to capture the interest of recruiters. By next week, we're going to talk about that. That's interview and the likes. Okay, so that's basically it. So don't forget to put your name, basically your maybe your phone number, because you want them to reach out to you easily. So don't forget to put your name and also a thank you. So that's basically. So go to the next. You can drop your questions now because we'll be rounding up. I will be rounding up soon. So the tools to improve your applications, that is talking about CVs and cover letter. You can use resume builders like Canva or Nova Resume. There are also other free resume builders, but that is more because of formatting, but I could recommend that you use ChatGPT. ChatGPT has grown, but you must be able to use it smartly. If you cannot use it smartly, please don't use. Don't use. Just go to look for someone that could write your CV for you and you pay the person. Or you take a course on how to write CV so you don't commit blunder. The reason is it is your first investment. So it is not too much for you to pay for your CV. Because some people think that, oh, paying for my CV is too much. That is the first impression. No recruiter know you. Nobody know you. They only know you by first impression. So you must be able to invest in your CV. Invest in your personal branding. Invest in your LinkedIn profile optimization. This is basically the end of it. And if you have any question, please feel free to send. Okay. Yeah, basically it. So other tips is like if you're applying
Hello. Oh my God. Let's.